name is Sergeant Kathy Johnson. I work in the Community Relations Bureau of the Phoenix Police Department, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Phoenix Police Department Youth Academy. The purpose of this academy, and we run 3 of them throughout the summer, is to give the young adults in our community a chance to look at the Phoenix Police Department and see what we do, how we do our jobs, why we do what we do. Today, you guys are very lucky. You're going to get to see a lot of things that most kids your age and the general public, more than likely, doesn't get a chance to see.
Lights.
Stop! Stop! The initial purpose was to educate the kids in high school and give them an introduction into law enforcement. The kids actually had some type of interest in law, not necessarily to be police officers, maybe a lawyer, an attorney, something. And it gave them a first inside look at the career of law enforcement. What we did this year, we offered 3 classes, and we offered the first one to kids of police officers within the Phoenix Police Department. And the second one, we opened it up to city employees and their children. And the third one, we kind of asked officers throughout the community, if you know any kids who might be interested in attending the academy.
When I grow up, I want to be a cop because I think it's an interesting job. Helping people, I like doing that. And I don't know, I like solving situations a lot.
I'm excited about coming here because I see this as an opportunity to look at a job for the future, to get more, because I was interested in becoming an officer, and now that I've seen this and know a little bit of what they go through, it'll help me make my decision more on what I want to do later on in life.
My name is Sergeant Brad Burton with the Special Assignments Unit. How many have an idea what the SWAT team is? Somebody tell me? How about you? What is it?
You guys handle drug cases, not drug cases, but like you go in and control a situation, stuff like that.
That's pretty good. How about you?
It stands for Special Weapons and Tactics.
It's pretty good. Yes, yes. How about you? What they said?
Way to go. You guys handle hostage situations?
That's right. All those answers are good. We deal with some hostage situations as well. We're not called a SWAT team here in the city of Phoenix. We're called the Special Assignments Unit. We do just a few more things than a regular SWAT team does. I guess maybe the Phoenix Police Department thought that we needed to be a little more specialized in different areas. We take care of surveillances. We take care of stakeouts. We pick up high-risk criminals, bad guys, as well as do the SWAT stuff, like the hostage barricade. If someone's feeling really bad about themselves and is thinking suicidal, we have hostage negotiators that take care of those kind of crisis intervention situations. But this is a very small amount of talking and a lot of show and tell. So we're going to get right to the meat of the equipment here.
There's pieces of equipment that we have to have in order to do our job safely and effectively. The other reason is it gives us an identity advantage where we can look at somebody, say in a dark or smoke-filled room, and we can immediately know that it's one of us that we're with. Bill here has his setup. Bill is, by the way, the negotiator on our squad. He has his setup in a particular fashion that works for him. The body armor extends down to here to cover more areas. We also have a helmet that we can put on top, and this thing you see over here is part of his communication system. It transmits sounds through these little bone receivers or bone mics into the inner ear, so he can still hear. You can see his ears are still open. That's real important for us when we're making entry, that we be able to hear what's going on around us. So these bone mics will transmit sounds directly to the inner ear. He then communicates by keying a button right down here, which opens his radio, and he talks into this little remote mic here. It's a very sensitive mic, so he can talk in a very low voice and still be heard by the rest of the team. The radio is carried back here on the back of his backpack. The radio's not in there now because it's not really necessary. However, our radio looks like this. It is not a standard police radio. We work on alternate frequencies, and we also have the ability to encrypt our message so that it cannot be monitored by the bad guy. Even if he had a radio just like this, we have the ability to change the code in this. It's a military encryption code so that it can't be monitored if we find that's necessary. Down here is a gas mask, which we all carry on us. The reason we carry it and don't necessarily put it on all the time is because we don't use gas all the time. These are very hot and very confining to wear. So what we do is we carry them on us, and that way if all of a sudden the situation changes and we decide we need to put gas in, then we can all pull out our gas masks and put them on. These aren't regular knee pads, these are real soft knee pads. They're a real flexible rubber, and the reason we wear those is so that if we're crawling around on our hands and knees, which I personally do a fair amount, I don't want any noise being made by my knee pads.
We have little video cameras that we use. Little video cameras that can see in the dark. What this does is it oscillates back and forth, and it'll bend around corners. So say, for instance, we're standing on the floor, looking up into the attic, we can bend the camera over and basically rotate it.
This is one of the weapons that our snipers use. They also use a bolt-action rifle, which we don't have here. Each sniper carries his own sniper rifle that's assigned to him. You have to realize that the SWAT team comprises a little less than 1% of the department's manpower. So it's a pretty exclusive club, and it generally takes quite a while to get into the team. You may have seen these in military movies. It's a little bit different. The military version of this is called the M16, and it is fully automatic. This is semi-automatic. Do you all know what I mean when I say fully automatic and semi-automatic?
If it's fully automatic, you just hold the trigger and it'll shoot forever. But like semi-automatic, it only shoots one round at a time.
That's exactly right. Infrared can't be seen by the human eye. It's a special frequency that's beyond the range of human vision. So it'll shoot out the infrared, but the night vision goggles can pick it up, so it would look like daylight in here.
I want to be in the SAU too because I want to be a sniper and I want to sniper people and probably negotiate with them if I won't have to shoot them, if I can just save their lives.
What we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate handgun for you, shotgun, the AR-15, then we're going to go to the MP5 submachine gun, and then we have a couple other things for you to look at. Everybody ready? From time to time, if we want to move from one place to the other without the bad guy seeing us, we'll use smoke, and that covers our movement. Okay? So let's give it a try. Without further ado, Bill's going to pop that smoke for you and toss it. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, nice job. You're a good bowler.
That was
Dope.
bad.
It was
dude.
bad. It was
cool.
scary though. The last one, it like I felt pressure.
I got a shotgun shot, so I'm
I
happy.
felt it on my chest. That was bad.
I got hit with a rock.
I think they should do it again.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
I wouldn't mind seeing it
I
again.
want to see a machine gun just go. Thrrr.
I'm Sergeant Vince Piano. I work at the academy here in the tactical training detail. When do I decide if I'm going to hit somebody? Okay? It's not so much the officer that's deciding what's going to be done, is the subject decides what's going to happen. Okay? I can take this and teach the officers to hit a static bag. When I say static bag, just like a regular bag, and they can't move around. But it's different if I have somebody like this and he's moving around, okay? And then he might try and hit me with one of his hands. I got to remember to keep this hand up to block, okay? Get down! Get down! Leave Tony alone! Get down! There you go. Okay?
Get back! Get back! Come on! Get back! Get back! Get down!
Okay, okay. Notice as he starts to get down.
Get back now.
You know, you get nervous until, like, you feel like they're gonna attack you or something. You think about it, how to get them out. You just think. My first thought of helping them was to talking to them, but then he tried to attack me, so I had to hit him with the baton.
Get down! Get down!
Oh my goodness, he'll hurt you.
Get down! Get down!
Watch where you're striking.
Stop! Wait! Get down! Come on, come on!
Okay. Good job.
If you see an officer talking to someone, giving them commands from that far back, that's because that person can hurt him. And it doesn't have to be a knife. It could be a baseball bat. It could be a piece of pipe. So that's not at all unusual. And a lot of people don't realize how fast you can go from here to here and how badly hurt you can get if you're not ready to take care of the action. Whatever way he's going and running real hard, he's going to keep going, and he's going to hurt me. So what we teach our officers out on the street is, if I'm going to contact this man and he has a knife, I want to have my gun out. Now, I don't have to be pointing it at him yet. Some officers will hold it down here. Some officers will hold it up here higher. But we know that he can come and get us.
You got to remember, every time we do a traffic stop, we never know what's going to happen. Okay, there's no such thing as what they call a routine traffic stop. Every time we stop someone, we have no idea who's driving the car, okay, what they've done. Okay, he may have just ran the stop sign and that's all the officer knows, okay, but he may have just robbed a liquor store down the street and that's why he ran the stop sign, and now he's scared because the police are stopping him. But you got to remember, the police officer doesn't know that. So we never know exactly what's happening or exactly who we're stopping. Okay, so there's certain techniques and certain things we do to try and make this safer as we approach the vehicle and attempt to talk to the driver of the vehicle for the reason we stopped him. Now, he just ran the stop sign, but she walked up to the window, okay? She has to ask him for a few things, a license, registration, proof of insurance, right? Okay? But does she have to be aware that the driver of the vehicle could possibly have a weapon in the car? A gun or a knife? What are some things she can do, okay, to put herself at a better position of advantage? Okay, absolutely.
Can I see your registration, please? Slowly.
He's got something in there. He's got something.
Get out, please.
Yeah, good move. Good move.
Get against the car, please. All right, where's the here,
Get down on that car.
Put your hands on the wheel, sir.
There you go.
Well, officer, what did I do?
Ran a stop sign.
Oh, I apologize.
Ask him if he's got any in the car.
You got any gun in the car?
Yes, sir, I do.
Oh. Is it loaded?
Yes, it's loaded, sir.
Oh. Can I please? No, let it.
Ask him to step out then.
Can you
Have him
step
leave
out,
the car in there,
Sure.
step out.
Sure.
Slowly.
You guys hearing this?
I'm not going to do anything, officer.
He asked if he had any guns in the car and he said he did.
Well, let's get him out of traffic so the cars don't hit us or anything. Let's take him over here and talk to him.
Still over there, please.
Sure, absolutely, officer. Is there any reason why you ran that stop sign?
All right, you guys see this?
No, that was my mistake, officer. I shouldn't have done that.
Okay, so.
Are you going to write me a ticket?
I guess.
You going to write another officer a ticket?
Yes, because you're not supposed to be doing that.
Good.
You gotta be careful.
You're strong, man. You are strong.
Don't shoot it.
Don't shoot it.
Very nice.
We're responsible for the firearms training for the Phoenix Police Department and for the Arizona Law Enforcement Academy. We do all the in-service training for the police officers that are already on the department, and we do all the initial training for the police recruits when they come through. We're also responsible for the testing and evaluation of the different types of firearms and guns, and even some of the chemical munitions like the tear gas products that the department wants to purchase or is currently carrying. We're going to demonstrate all the different guns that our patrol officers carry. You guys got to see our SWAT cops, the Special Assignment Unit officers and sergeants demonstrate some of their weapons, and we'll try and do a demonstration for you on how those rounds perform out here today. I only fired 2 shotgun shells, but now there's 18 holes in the target, that each shell holds 9 of those BBs. They're good 30 caliber sized bullets. And you guys can tell from the can, did I hit the concrete block? No. Or did I shoot the can? Yeah. Okay, that's called kinetic energy transfer, that the energy from the bullet, when it hit the water, it transmitted that energy to the can, and the water in the can transmitted it to the concrete block and shattered the concrete block. In fact, I did a little test there. If you guys look in the bottom of the can, I put a quarter on top of the concrete block. The amount of force that went down through the can and shattered the block, it left a perfect stamp of the quarter.
Anybody want to take a gander at what youth alcohol issues are? People that are youthful that are drinking.
I've tried it before, and yeah, I didn't know it could do that to you, but now that I've seen those pictures and seeing what it could do to you, I don't think I would be doing that again. And, oh yeah, people drink at my age, 15, yeah, and they act pretty stupid. Like, they don't act themselves, like, they act like they're it, they're Mr. Mrs. Know-It-All, and they could try anything and nothing will happen to them, but I know a person that has done drinking and he died of doing that. He was 16 years old and he had gotten in a car accident. He was in the back seat. I think people do it, teenagers, they do it just for the fun of it and see how it feels. And because sometimes parents drink and yeah, the kids want to try it and be like their parents, so I don't know, it's something like that. I think if teachers and cops and students get more involved in it, then I think that kids will get an idea of don't do it, you know. It's like what we've been through today, like I think more people should go through and not just us. Like more kids should be coming here and learning this kind of activities and learning everything that we did.
This will be my first and my best.
I'm scared, man. I haven't even been on a plane before. I wouldn't even go on there.
Well, real quick, I'm Officer Gary Buckland. This is my partner, Derek Giesel. Obviously, we're with the Phoenix Police Department Air Support Unit. And what we do, our primary function, there's 24 of us in our unit, by the way. We are the helicopters that you see flying over the city at night that provide support for the ground unit. If a guy has a minimum of 3 years as a police officer, he can put in for our unit. And what they're going to take into account is what kind of a police officer he was on the street, whether he was a hard worker or whether he was a slacker. Obviously, the hard worker is going to get the nod over the slacker. A guy that doesn't need to be told what to do all the time, a guy that's pretty motivated and is willing to hit the books real hard and study real hard and do a lot of the work on his own because it's a lot of work. I know you guys got to have some questions for us. Go ahead.
Why doesn't the tail have a rotor?
Why doesn't the tail have a rotor? Good question. Most helicopters do have two rotor systems on them. Obviously, the big rotor system is what lifts us off the ground and sends us through the air. The most conventional helicopters have another propeller, if you will, or a tail rotor on it. And what that does is that keeps the helicopter going straight. It's what decides what direction the nose is going to be pointed. It's a neat design. They're still working on it, still trying to come up with something a little bit better, but we bought them mostly because they're quiet. They help us to sneak up on the bad guys. A lot of times the bad guys don't even hear us coming until we're already overhead. The old helicopters, you could hear them for 2-3 miles away.
We're sitting here in this crazy helicopter, just no air conditioning, as you can see, no doors. Nice breeze picking up right now. Pretty fun. Pilots are cool guys. Cool guys. Alright.
I'm out for a traffic report.
Well, I'm trying to go play with the dog, so we'll see you over there.
Okay, my name is Dean Erb. As you can see, I'm a canine officer. I've been on the police department for about 23.5 years, and this here is my partner, Major. Now, Major is as you can see, is a German Shepherd. I've had Major now for about 3.5 years. And we have 2 sergeants and 13 handlers. Major happens to be one of the 13 dogs. He's what we call a patrol dog. And what he does is he goes out and finds bad guys. Okay, do you guys have any questions so far?
What kind of training do the dogs have to go through?
What kind of training does he go through? That's a good question. Right now we go through about 480 hours of training with the dog. So we have our own trainer here, and the dog is assigned to us. The dog goes home with us, and we start our training, and it takes about 480 hours before we're able to put the dog on the street. The dogs are taught to bite and hold, so when they do bite somebody, they hold until the handler comes in and he calls them off. And then at that point, the other officer with us will take him into custody and put the handcuffs on him. Major and I are retiring in 1 year and 5 months. We're both going to retire, so yes. So he's gonna go home with me, he'll live with me when I retire. And he'll be 8 years old when I retire.
This is a beautiful dog.
What's his
And
name?
he's smart too. I think he was friendlier because when you see canine dogs on TV, they're usually real ruthless, digging into guys, and you see this dog right now just being friendly and wanting to be petted. So, yeah, he was nicer than I thought he would be. If I become a police officer, then a canine dog, that would be pretty cool because it's easier to settle arguments with a dog than it is with a partner.
It's worth it after the end, through all that trouble, it's worth it.
Because before I didn't know what they had to go through, but now that I know, it's like fun. Yeah, it makes it easier to decide.
It's fun but hard, but
If you believe in yourself and if you have faith in yourself, then you can do it.
It makes it all worth it when you can help somebody out.
This inspired me more,
When you get
more
that
to be a
fat
police
paycheck.
officer.
Those fat benefits.
I honestly think that they should, to improve it, they need to get people who are really interested in it, not people that are just going to come over here and mess around.
Yeah,
Because-
to volunteer.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just come because they made them.
Or
we volunteer.
If they're gonna volunteer their time, they should make it worth it.
We volunteered to come in because we all want to be cops.
come here, but we came here on our own.
Well, me personally, I like the whole experience.
So there's not one thing I didn't like. It's just that, I mean, if you're gonna have kids, they're gonna be like us. That this program, I mean, it was just like wow to us. Some other kids, it was like, okay, oh wow, you know,
I'm
whoa,
here.
there's a dog.
I'm here, and to the other kids, it was like, I'm here, and I'm here, and to us, it was like, oh, I'm here. I'm gonna make the best of my time and do whatever I can to have fun.
I want to go home.
Well, it was fun, but sadly to say, my day's far from over. Far
We'll be
from
back
over.
next summer.
Hey, see you guys later.
Yeah, bye.